Hello. This is a quick, well, probably quick update about the Kindle Scribe. That being the Kindle that you and I are supposed to write on. And actually, there is already a full 58 keys episode exactly about how writing on this is okay. But we're writers, so we're readers as well. And a couple of things have come up about just reading on the Kindle Scribe. So let me please race through those, including actually a correction to something that I got wrong. Let me race through those before I send this back to Amazon. Hello, I'm William Gallagher, and this is 58 Keys, which, as always, is for writers like you and me who use and who write on Macs and iPhones and iPads predominantly. Do subscribe because there's always so much to talk about, isn't there? Not that I actually planned to talk about the Kindle Scribe. Again, the plan was okay, so I'm not going to write on this much after all, but look at that screen. This is great for reading on. I said in the fuller 58 Keys about writing on the panel, on the Kindle Scribe, that this size screen makes you feel like you're reading an actual page of a book, where it seems to me now in retrospect that the older Kindles, like the Kindle Paperwhite that I have, they're a bit like looking through a hole onto the page, except for this distracting menu. And that's good news, actually, because, well, pretty good news, because I was wrong about that menu. You can actually get rid of it. Two 58 Keys viewers, both with tremendous names, Nerd Girl and Ambient Classical, both told me exactly how to do this. I mean, even though they told me I still had to fiddle, I assumed to get the option to get rid of that menu, that it would be in the menu itself, or that it would just be in the Kindle's general settings for how things are displayed. No, neither of those. No. Instead, when you've already gone into a book, you can tap on the three dots icon, and now there's the option, and that switches off that book at all times. Thank you, Nerd and Ambient. I hope I can call you that. Armed with this, I packed the Kindle Scribe into my carry-on luggage, and I went off on my first holiday in 18, 20 months, something like that. And look, a bit of a slideshow here is the Scribe on my hotel bed the night before, and here's the Scribe at the airport. Only that bit in the airport was in between check-in and security, and one moment after I shot that, my Apple Watch gave me this really urgent tapping on my wrist. British Airways cancelled our flight and basically said that if we were very lucky, they could swap us to another one for free, and it would get us to our 6-day holiday merely 3 days late. And also, since the holiday was actually a 6-day river cruise, the boat would be long, about 3 days gone by then. So, whole trip died right there on the spot. And of course, therefore, so did the plan of lounging about on holiday, really enjoying reading on the large screen of my Kindle Scribe. Do you know, for the first time in my life, I missed the boat. I've only just realised that. In the day or so that I had away at hotel the night before the flight, and then the morning in the airport, and the week I've had since trying to conjure up an equivalent last-minute holiday, a last-minute birthday day, actually, for my wife, well, I've been taking some breaks and reading on the Scribe less and less than I thought, and reading on my old Kindle Paperwhite more and more than I expected. The thing is, it's too big. You can't carry it around in the pocket. I mean, my Paperwhite will only go into the pocket of one of my coats, but you can't casually pop it into a bag that you're carrying around. I find I have to pack it carefully. In fact, I've been using an iPad case to protect it. And then yet reading, it is tremendous to read from this screen at first. As I also say in the full 58 Keys about writing on this, the grip or the bezel here, it really gets in the way. It gets in the way enough that I have to tap with my other hand to move on to the next page. If I tap with this one, I keep going backwards. I might go forward, probably back. Do you know, actually, I suddenly remember this. The first time I read Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, it was on an iPhone 3, maybe, long time ago. Tiny little screen, and so small I was constantly thumbing onto the next page. I mean, every few seconds before I it. But that was a simple thumb swipe, and it was fast, and the book is so good. I forgot that I was reading on a device, and I just relished the writing. With this, turning the page is an interruption. And even though Kindle Scribe is remarkably light, I mean ridiculously light, it stops feeling that light after you've been reading on it in bed, say, for a while. Maybe it's actually the weight, maybe it's the heft, the size, the shape, I don't know. It stopped so quickly, stopped being a pleasure to read on this great screen, and instead became a bit of a chore. So I am returning mine to Amazon. I tell you though, I don't feel great about that. I mean, I'm not going to write on it, I'm not going to read on it, but still. Friends in America tell me they return things all the time. I don't hear it happening much here where I am in the UK, but whether just nobody mentioned it, or whether it's common everywhere or not, I have a problem with it. I have a couple of problems with it. I think the obvious one is it seems to me that returning devices, well, it's definitely not green, is it? But also, just as you and I mean, as writers, we would have put a lot of effort into something we've created. Well, so did the makers of this. I mean, I think it is amazing that someone can have an idea and end up, with a lot of people together with a finished physical product. I hope I didn't just damage that and wreck the return. The fact that they will be making millions of these, the fact that Amazon, they won't even barely notice that I've returned this one. I'll be an entry in a spreadsheet somewhere. The fact that returning this actually means someone else might be able to buy it slightly cheaper, that doesn't help me, really, not a lot. However, this Kindle Scribe cost me £330. It's in the US for about $340. And I'm afraid I would rather have that money back now and keep it for some future Kindle Scribe 2. Weird. I'm actually more disappointed about this not being great for reading than I am about it not being good for writing. Don't know what that is. Anyway, that's it for this edition of 58 Keys. Thank you very much for watching. Now, take care of yourself, eh? Write more on anything, and I'll see you soon.